Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and realizing that your phone doesn't turn on, your internet connection is completely gone, and even the lights in your house refuse to work. Within minutes, it becomes clear that this isn't just a local power outage. The entire world has gone dark. No communication, no navigation, no electricity anywhere. It might sound like the beginning of a dystopian movie, but it's not science fiction. It's a very real scenario that scientists have been warning us about for years. And the threat isn't coming from Earth, it's coming from the sun. Every few years, the sun releases enormous bursts of energy called solar flares and coronal mass ejections, or CMEs. These eruptions send billions of tons of charged particles hurtling through space at incredible speeds, sometimes over 1,000,000 kilometers per hour. Most of the time, these flares miss our planet completely, but when one of them happens to be directed right at Earth, the consequences can be devastating. We've already seen what happens when such a storm hits. In 1859, a massive solar storm known as the Carrington event struck Earth and disrupted the telegraph systems of the 19th century. Sparks flew from telegraph wires, paper caught on fire, and operators received electric shocks through their equipment. It was a dramatic display of the sun's power. And back then, electricity barely existed. Now imagine that same kind of storm hitting us today in a world where almost every part of our lives depends on electricity, satellites, and the internet. A solar event of that scale could completely destroy major power grids across continents. Satellites could be fried in orbit, cutting off GPS, television, weather forecasting, and communications. Planes could lose contact with control towers, and global financial networks could fail in seconds. Even food and water systems, managed by digital infrastructure, could collapse. And according to scientists, it's not a question of if this will happen again, it's a question of when. The sun follows an 11-year cycle of activity, and we are entering its most active phase right now. In fact, during 2024 and 2025, astronomers have already recorded some of the most powerful solar flares in recent decades. Any one of them, if directed toward Earth, could cause a modern-day Carrington event with devastating consequences. The good news is that we do have some ways to prepare. Space agencies like NASA and the European Space Agency constantly monitor the sun using satellites such as the Solar Dynamics Observatory. These instruments can detect early signs of solar storms and give us several hours of warning before the particles reach Earth. That short window of time could allow power companies and governments to shut down sensitive systems and protect satellites from the worst of the damage. But the truth is, our planet's infrastructure is still not ready for a direct hit. If a powerful solar flare struck Earth today, it could take months or even years to fully restore our global communication and power networks. The world as we know it could literally go offline overnight. So the next time you look up at the sun, remember that it's not just the source of life on our planet. That's also one of the greatest potential threats to our modern civilization. The same star that gives us light and warmth could, with one massive eruption, plunge our entire world into darkness. Stay informed and keep watching the skies, because one day, the biggest threat to humanity might not come from distant galaxies or alien invasions, but from our own star.